So yesterday we discussed about what is data and the data related to which languages and what is database, what type of databases we have, and what is DBMS and RDMS. Uh, these things we discussed yesterday. If you want to check that, you can check my videos. Coming to next point. RDBMS, it will follow acid properties. Uh, if it is not follow acid properties, it won't be a RDBMS concept. Uh, First of all, what is acid properties? Acid properties are uh, like acid properties. Acid properties are like A means accuracy, C means consistency, I means integrity, and D means durability. So this RDBMS is follow these properties. I will tell you in detail in further classes for this meanings, accuracy and consistency and integrity and durability. Okay. Coming to the main class, that is SQL Server. So first of all, we are writing the code in SQL Server tool that is provided by Microsoft. This SQL Server tool we need to install. That part will take care by DBA team. Development team no need to do those things. But in startup companies, we need to do developer side also. We need to do the installations. Okay. As of now, these installations will take care of DBA team. Okay. And coming to next. That SQL Server, it is a product of Microsoft introduced in the year 1989 as SQL Server version 1.0. And this SQL Server, it is a GUI based RDBMS, and it is a backend of tool. Let me write points point wise, then you can notice. It is a product of Microsoft introduced in the year 1989 as a SQL Server developer. The version is 1.0. So SQL Server is it is a Microsoft product and it is introduced in the year 1989. Starting the version is 1.0. So they are maintained whenever it is released. So at the time they are maintained their version. So here the starting version is 1.0. And next it is a GUI based RDBMS. So for suppose coming to next Oracle or some other databases, in starting time they don't have GUI based uh, GUI based tool they don't have. But in SQL Server from starting onwards it is a GUI based. GUI based in the sense we can use it through the mouse, and we can select the objects easily. If you want to get more clarify on that in tool, I can explain in further classes. Next, next is it is always used in backend. Means most of the databases we are used in the backend. Backend in the sense in IT side, IT industry side, most of them front end we can call it as developers like web designing, uh, web development. Those developers we can call it as a front end, and back end we can call .NET and database, Java, Python. Um, these developers we can call it as a backend. So our database it will be always a backend developer, and this tool also backend tool. Coming to next, it is a client server technology. Client server technology in the sense this SQL server uh, mm, we need we need we need the tool in client side server only. If for suppose we write some type of code, that code we need to deploy in the client server side, and that code will be there in client side. And that that data will be coming from the client server side, it will come. So always you got it right. Coming to next point, it is starting from the version 2017. We can work in any OS. So from 2017 version onwards, 2017 SQL Server version onwards, we can work in any OS. Before that, we can work on only Microsoft OS only. Microsoft in the sense Windows, like Windows 7 or Windows 10, Windows 11. Those OS only we can work. But in from 2017 onwards, we can work this one in any OS like Unix, Linux, Ubuntu. Those type of OS we can install that SQL Server tool, and we can work on the OSs also. Up to here, clear, right? Next, life cycle of database implementation. The lifecycle of database implementation will give you some separation of tables, separation type of tables I'm giving. First of all, one is designing, and second one is development. Third one is production. So, what are these? Designing. The life cycle of databases will be like three parts. Like one is the designing part, and another one is the development part. Another one is the production part. So, for the developers, their position will be in the designing side, or in development side, or in the production side. For suppose if you are working in the MNC or big companies, so your role will be like this only, like designing, development or production. But if you are working as a like a small company or a startup companies, these three things will be you have to do only, like designing, or you have to do, a development, or you have to do, and productions are also you have to do. Okay. Coming to this one, designing is nothing but like architect. Architect will do this designing part, and developer will do this development part, and in production part will do only DBA developers. Okay. Coming to this designing part in the sense we have to do this planning and analyzing on the client requirements. Okay. In designing level, the architectures will do like they are planning or analyzing on the client requirements. So for suppose the client will give a requirement, so at the time they are doing the analyzing part on that whatever they given, and their analysis on that everything, and they are planning like what we have to do, what we have to do for the designing. So everything they are doing uh, on that part. After that, they are doing the designing the database. After that, they are preparing design document. So after designing the database, they have to do prepare the document. This is must and should for the document, because for suppose if the employee will go to somewhere, or they resigning the company, so at the time no one knows like what they are designing, how basis they are designing. So they don't know anything about that. That's why they have to prepare the design document. Not only designing, for the development also, they have to prepare the document. So these details are the designing details. Coming to development. from this development side, first they have to implement the database. Implement the database in the sense in after they design the database and they have prepared the document and everything from the designing team or architect. So after that, when it comes to development side, so you have to check what they are design, and based on the design, you have to design in the sense they are creating the tables and everything. So based on the tables, you have to planning or you have to implement like how we have to create the store procedures or functions. We have to calculate everything. That is the implement. Calculate in the sense first we need to calculate like what we have to create. Like if that is related to store procedure, we have to create, or we have to create a function or view. Those things we have to calculate. That is the implementation. And coming to the second point, that is the coding and the debugging. Coding and debugging. These are, like coding in the sense, whatever I said, like store procedures or functions or views or anything. If you create those things, that is part of coding. Once it is done, you have to recheck and you have to debug like where it is failing. And once it is run in the development side, you have to debug like once the values are coming properly or not. Those things you have to check. That is the part of coding and debugging. And after that, you have to do the fine tuning queries. Fine tuning the queries in the sense, uh, once you are done the everything, like creating the store procedures or functions, whatever, you have to check the tuning levels also, like performance levels, like you have to run the query, run the store procedure, how much time it will take. Do we need to implement some more, like for suppose the store procedure is taking 2 minutes, can we do to reduce the time to 1 minute? Or if we follow any performance related rules? Those things we need to check in the third point, that is fine tuning queries. And the last one is testing the database. Testing the database and prepare testing document. Testing the database, like once you develop everything, that result is coming or not, that we need to check that. That is the testing. And once it is done, you have to prepare the testing document. How you prepare, like what is the client requirement, what is the client expecting output, that result, proper result is coming or not. Those we need to prepare in the testing document. Up to here, there is no doubt, right? Any doubts here? Can I proceed further? Okay, let's go. Coming to this one, production. Uh, so this production, we have a DBA team is there. That DBA team is maintain this production servers. So once you development everything, you have to deploy the code in the production. After the deployment, no need to touch. You don't have permission to touch the production servers and everything. So everything they are maintained by DB team only. So what they will do in productions, the point is they are maintain the databases. So my classes is like I have everything related to. I'm saying everything related to our real-time examples only. So if I tell you real-time examples, then you can understood. And if you go to the IT industry, so at the time you know these things already, so you can go further easily. That's why I'm telling these real-time examples. So first point is the DB maintain. DB maintenance in the sense, for suppose once you deploy the code in the production, they have to maintain the servers. Is the actual what is the performance levels? It is increasing. Do we need to do anything? Those things they are checking in the their DB maintenance side. So everything they are maintained. And backups, what they are taking the backups on DBA, they are maintaining like what's full backup, differential backup, it is coming or not. So everything it is like a uh, large type of things they are doing. So they are under a DB maintenance. And next is monitoring. Monitoring in the sense, as of now, I said like they are monitoring like how much performance it is increasing, how much CPU it is taking. Those things they are monitoring, like how much database size it is increasing day by day. So those things they are monitoring. And next is troubleshooting and secured items. Troubleshooting in the sense that they are checking if there is any errors will happen, or any related to its backups issues or anything. They are troubleshooting those issues. And secured items means every items they are maintain the security levels. Like for suppose if you want to log in into production server, they give up permissions, like you have to do the read-only permissions. Don't do any insert or update. Those permissions, those security maintenance also they do. And after here they have some responsibilities. What are those? Those are like no downtime. For the responsibilities, DBA responsibilities are there is no downtime, no data loss, no connectivity. So here the if the development is done, it will go to production. So after the production, it will the production server will go continuously. It won't go any slow, or it won't go to stop. That means no downtime. Means it won't go to the stop servers. It won't go to down. So it will go continuously. The servers will go. And coming to this no data loss means they have to take care of these things like backups and restores, and there is data no data loss on that. Like they are caring about the data also. The main thing is data only. If the data is missed, that is the biggest problem on the database level and this DB team. And no connectivity, they have the responsibilities for connections for the logins or login to the users, and for the users connectivity means we need to give the permissions on read or write. Those connectivities also where they have responsibilities. Okay, up to here, clear, right? If you have any doubts, please raise. Okay, can I proceed? Okay. Now go to the history of the SQL Server. So first of all, if we go to work on one tool, we need to know the history of this tool. What we know, like when it is implemented, when it is started, and uh, is there any like versions they are maintained? Is there any code maintenance there? Those things we need to know. I will tell you those things. This is also I will tell you in a tabular form. One is the year, and another one is the release name, and another one is the version, and another one is the code name. First it is, so for first it was started at 1989, and the release name was SQL Server 1.0. This is the starting, and the version is 1.0. So at the time there is no code name, and the next time is 1991. And the server name is, sorry, release name is SQL Server 1.1, and the version also 1.1. So after that, the some more years is there. So I don't want to share those. After that, 2000 year. So from 2000 years, they are given a release names with the year. It's 2000. The release name is SQL Server 2000. Previous ones, they are given a release names like 1.0, 1.1, like that. After that, they are from 2000 onwards, they are given the release name like SQL Server 2000. And here the version is 8.0. And here they are giving a code name, that is, this is the code. So like that, some versions is there. After that, there is a 2017 version. Sorry, 2017 year. And the release name is 2017. Version is 14.0. The code name is, here the code name in the sense they are maintained internally, like internally they are maintain the codes, versions and everything to identify the versions and release and save everything. They are maintained like this. From 2019, same thing like SQL Server 2019, and the version is 15.0. See, I noted up to here 2022. So like this, they are maintained from 1989 to 2022. These are the years release name and versions and code names, they are maintained like this. This is the history of the SQL Server. And if we need to know like what is the release and version here. For suppose we are taking the SQL Server 2014. For suppose I'm taking the release name, that is SQL Server 2014. Uh, Actual the version is saying 14.0, 15.0, like that. The exact version name is like a 12.0.2000 RTM. So if you check the versions of SQL Server, it will be like a 12.0.2000 or 14.0.2001. Like this, it will be there. So here we need to know like what is the 12. 12 here, 12 is the major version, and after that 0. 0 is the minor version. 2000. 2000 is the build version. RTM. RTM means release release to KET market. Release to market. This is the meaning of this version. 12 is the major version, and 0 is the minor version, 2000 is the build version. RTM means release to market. Up to here, clear, right? Any doubts, please raise here. Okay. I will revise the today's class again. So this SQL Server means RDMS is follow ACID properties. ACID properties are those are ACID means A means accuracy, C means consistency, I means integrity, and D means durability. These full details we'll discuss in further classes. Coming to this SQL Server, this SQL Server it is a product of Microsoft, and it was introduced in the year 1989. That version is starting is 1.0, and it was developed by GA based, so we can easily drag and drop the objects easily by using this GUI based method, and it is always a backend tool, and it always work as a client server technology, and from 2017 onwards the version is work in any OS. Means it is starting from 1989, right? From 1989 to 2016, the SQL Server will work on only Microsoft OS only. You know the voices like Microsoft Windows 7, Windows 11. Those are the OSs Microsoft, and the another OS is also there. Like, that is the Linux, Ubuntu. Those type of OSs also there. This SQL Server won't work up to 2016 year. It won't work on the other tools, other OSs. But from 2017 onwards, this SQL Server will work on any OS. So we can install this one and we can work on any OS. There is no restrictions from 2017 onwards. Coming to the life cycle of database, we have three types like designing, development, and productions. Designing, uh, like if we are doing the work in the MNC or big companies, they are separate the development part into designing, development, and productions. So for suppose designing designers are nothing but they are architects, developments are developers, and productions are like DBA developers. Coming to this designing, we are doing planning and analyzing on the client requirements, and designing the database and preparing the designing documents. Developments like implement the database, coding and debugging on that, tuning the queries, and testing and prepare the documents. DBA means they are maintain the database, monitoring, troubleshooting everything, and responsibilities, Coming to the history of the SQL Server, we have it is introduced on 1989, and the release names they are giving starting SQL Server 1.0 like that, and version is 1.0, and code name is nothing at the time. So from 2014 or 16, don't know exactly. At the time they had maintained the release names like SQL Server 2017 like that, and the code names are also they are maintained. So here, for suppose if you take a SQL Server 2004 release name, the version is like a 12.0.2000 RTM. Here we can calculate like 12 is the major version and 0 is the minor version, 2000 is the build version. RTM is in the form in the sense release to market. So this is my second class. I think you understood these things. If any questions, please raise here, or we can wrap up this call. Nothing? Okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining. We can end up this call.
Thank you.